The mistake retrospectively that I made when I went into forest school was thinking that it was still a top-down pedagogy, that it was still a like, yeah, it's outdoors, yeah, it's kind of play-based, but I still need to be in the role of expert 95% of the time. And actually, I think that held me back a huge amount. Obviously, there were some benefits there in terms of like that kind of impostery syndrome stuff making me go like, oh, I'm going to practice loads more because I don't want to look silly. But actually, in the long run, it didn't help me because I was doing everything under like stress and duress rather than like freely enjoying it. So sharing some humility, even if you're starting out, being honest about like where you are with your skill set development in a particular area, going, do you know what, guys? I really want to do some knot work today because knots are something I've only just learned. I did some training on it last week and I really want to practice this thing. Maybe you guys can help me out. Maybe this thing can do. And like, that's way better modeling than this kind of top down, like, I'll show you how to do it. And then I'll come around and, you know, check on how you're doing, knowing full well that I didn't know exactly how they were doing. And I didn't have the expertise to, you know, go and help them out. So I couldn't really advise when things were going wrong, and I had to sort of blag it. So many mistakes. So number one thing that I would try and hold as you're like going through thinking about your bushcraft skills, maybe you've just done your practical training with someone, hopefully face to face, please face to face, and you've kind of come away and you're like, right, I'm going to go run my 6 pilot sessions. And you've maybe got this mindset going in that like, you need to be the one that like always does the tarps, or you need to be there, like showing some kind of tangible, like, well, no one could do a clove hitch at the beginning of the session and now they all can. Like, that's not where I would advise being. You will learn so much faster if you get everybody involved. So not only is it better for the participant, but it's also better for you because you are open to seeing different ways of doing that thing, whether they come from a 7-year-old or, you know, a parent or a volunteer or somebody else that's with you. Going in with that humility, I think, would have been the number one thing for my own personal growth. I could have learned from so many more people than I did because I was stuck in this mindset of leader hierarchy. And now looking back, I can see that there were volunteers, there were parents, there were other people that I really should have reached out to. I really should have kind of gone, hey, I know I'm holding up this thing, but actually there's this area that I could do with some support in. I noticed you are particularly skilled at that. Any chance you could pass me on? And not feeling like, oh, I can't charge people for a session if I don't know all the knots. Of course you can. No one's sending you there explicitly because they think, oh, that guy knows all the knots. That's the only reason I'm sending my kid. You're space holding. You're doing all these things. You're providing resources. You're providing childcare. You're, you know, facilitating peer mediations, all those things, right? The bushcraft side of it stuff is lovely, but individually, not one of those things is a reason that people are or aren't booking with you. So have the humility, take that on board, and learn from as many people as you can.